Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
I wish we had some green cocktails, but we're working, so we don't.
Yes, we don't. You know, when I used to work in the morning show, we would go to this bar. I forgot my wedding ring. Gosh, you gotta be good. You're so good with that. You're so good with that.
Because it's still fun to wear, you know.
It is.
Like new and shiny.
Yes. I love it. Well, I take my ring off whenever I'm doing my makeup and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It gets
Yes.
spray and everything on it.
I did the same thing the other day, and then I was like, in a meeting, and I was like, oh my God, my ring is just laying on my desk. Like,
yes,
I started having like a panic attack.
Yes,
yeah.
like it's hard, but you have to. Do you like shower with your ring or?
No,
makeup?
and my friends told me do not work out in this ring, like lift weights, because it can actually bend the whole ring, and it's really bad.
That's why you need to get those Qualo or whatever. Those rings. So
yeah, I need to look into those because I know Connor will definitely want one of those as well.
Oh, yeah.
Once we get married, but they're basically like a rubber band that you can wear to work out and do all those things.
And there's different brands, and that's what I do. Well,
yeah.
Whenever I would work out. And remember to do that, work out at a gym.
Yes.
Anyway, so St. Patrick's Day, so I used to work in the morning show, and we would go to this bar, and like there are nurses that would get off of the overnight shift and go to the bar, and they would like drink this green, wait, before I tell you, this green gallon of milk, and they would drink it until they would throw up.
What?
Wait,
was there alcohol in it?
No. It was this contest every year. I don't know if they still do it, but it's in downtown. They just drink this, and it was so disgusting.
That's disgusting.
Like green drinks that are like
so gross.
festive, that's fine. We're talking gallons of milk. I mean, they didn't drink gallons. They started throwing up after like a little bit, but it's like whole milk. Like this is nasty, but why?
That's so gross.
And then some people were like butt naked. And we would have to like make sure they're not part of our live shot, but
that is okay. Wow, I didn't think that you could top the St. Patrick's Day celebrations in my little small town that I grew up in. People go at like 6, 5 in the morning for like green eggs and ham and green beer, and it's this whole thing. Like people go and drink, and then like they're going to work by 9. It's like, oh my gosh, that's a little crazy. But it's all St. Patrick's Day is, I mean, a huge deal where I grew up.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know this, but I actually, when I studied abroad, we went to Ireland for St. Patrick's Day. So we were in Dublin.
How was that?
Square. I mean, it was great. I mean, it's not anything like everyone's out drinking and the river is dyed green and so it's great. It wasn't anything like everyone celebrating. Yeah. I think that's what's the difference is because I've gone to like Chicago. They dye their river there, but
Chicago, New York City, they have these huge celebrations that are just everyone's in green. Every bar is shamrocks. The green beer is flowing. I mean, it's a whole thing. I feel like we don't do it up as big in Houston.
So, what did y'all do in your hometown?
So there was this like famous bar called Quaker Steak and Lube. I mean, it's still there. It's the original one. And it just would be shoulder to shoulder from 5, 6 in the morning until it closed. Wow. Especially if it fell on a weekend, you know. So I would go when I worked at home. If it fell on a day I was working, I would be like covering that, which was crazy. Because I would see like everybody from my high school. I'm sure you get this a lot working here. But I'd be like out, and it would just be like all these people from my high school, and I'm like trying to report, you know? And if I had to go to work, and it was, then basically I would go and just wouldn't drink and just like would take it all in and see everyone and see everything. And it just is, but it's like that at all these bars at home. And
is there like a huge Irish
parades?
Or?
Parades and all kinds of crazy stuff. So it just, I don't know. It's like a whole ordeal over there, but I feel like not as much here.
I guess you would say, I mean, comparing it to that, I mean, there's some bars, but we don't have anything like huge, like a parade. Or
I mean, these cities shut down for parades and stuff, but it's really fun. But we were having a discussion in our meeting today, so I was like, well, I'm going to fill you guys all in on what St. Patrick's Day really is. It's more than leprechauns and green beer, okay? It actually honors Saint Patrick. He was a saint.
Wow.
Some people didn't know this today. So he was a 5th century Romano-British Christian missionary, and he ended up in Ireland. He was known as the Apostle of Ireland, and he is the primary patron saint of Ireland. He was actually kidnapped by Irish pirates at the age of 16 and brought to Ireland as a slave, and then he escaped and became that missionary. He is credited with using the shamrock to explain the Holy Trinity, God the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So we celebrate on March 17th because it marks his death, and of course it's evolved into the very crazy celebration that we have all come to know and love. So that's St. Patrick.
So I don't know as much about Christianity, but how would the shamrock, I know there's so many saints and patron saints, and like my mother-in-law.
Yeah, so he's like a saint in the Catholic Church, yeah.
So to use the shamrock to explain certain parts, is that just kind of like a
well,
symbolic?
So in Catholicism or Christianity, we believe that God is the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. So a shamrock, he's explaining, look at this shamrock. Yes. There's 3 leaves on it, but it is one, just like God the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, you know?
Oh.
Yeah. So
I did not know that. Yeah. Now we all know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I just thought that was like a cool little explainer because it was actually surprising, like how little everybody really knew about St. Patrick. I remember in Catholic grade school, we would definitely learn about St. Patrick and what he did and how he really brought Christianity to Ireland and all of that. But that's been so long ago. I personally needed a refresher. So
that is crazy.
And we all wear green to celebrate the color of the shamrock.
Love it. And then where did the pinching come from?
You know, I think these are all like myths and just things like
Got it. Just like how it evolves into these things.
I think it just evolves. I'm sure St. Patrick would not like to see all of us drinking alcohol. Some people
I'm
take
sure
it
he's
really
over
far.
green too. Like
You
after
know?
a while, he's
Yeah.
just like, you know.
I think he'd rather us go to church.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll be right back.
WTF.
Oh,
are we allowed to say WTF?
I think maybe we should make a Caroline and Rashi segment titled just that because that's how crazy the situation is.
Dumb. Well, because I say that because I accidentally said ASS on one of the shows when you were gone, and someone like wrote in saying that they were like offended or something. I know. It was just,
are you kidding me?
No, but it was one person.
But that's like still. Not even like a bad word. That's in that person's opinion, that's like a bad word.
For sure. But I'm saying WTF with this because this is, and then I said effing, and they didn't like the word F. Someone complained about that because I was like, this is effing ridiculous.
Okay, but this is not the news.
Right.
This is me and Rashi
and us
talking.
We're
like
all
normal
talking.
people.
Yes.
You do not see us sitting here like this right now. Good afternoon. We're coming to you with some news about Kim Kardashian and her ex-husband, Kanye West, aka Ye. Like, that's not what this show is. This show is just like, we're talking about things.
This is
us.
what it is.
When we talk to each other, this is more what we sound like.
Yes.
I mean, even on the 5 p.m., yes, we're authentic to ourselves and we use our personality on the 5 p.m., but it's still more of like a, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when we are bantering, it's sort of like if you're talking to like a grandma, you know, it's, Rashi, that's a good one. Like,
I know it is.
But on this show, it's just like, no, you're just going to get the real us.
Unfiltered.
Take it or leave it.
Yep, take it or leave it.
We might as well call it Caroline and Rashi Unfiltered.
Yes.
Maybe that's a segment too.
That's a segment also.
Anyway,
let's talk about this because this is so ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Do you want to? I wrote it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've read it.
Yeah,
but I know you were writing it, so
yeah.
you explain it. It's a lot here.
It's a lot. So Kim Kardashian thinking about stripping Kanye of legal custody of their 4 children that they have together after he posts, "The man makes the final decision." So let's take it back here to let you know what's going on. So the latest legal war was set off after Kanye agreed in a mediation Friday not to release a previously recorded song in which their daughter North raps the track "Lonely Roads Still Go to Sunshine." Here's the biggest issue with it all. It includes a phone conversation between Diddy and Kanye. According to their divorce settlement, they both have equal say in making decisions for their kids. But agreements don't seem to matter with Kanye, and he released this song with North's voice over the weekend. Kanye posted to X last night saying, "The man makes the final decision."
He just always knows what to say to send the whole internet and like the whole country into just a rage, because that is actually crazy. And what's also crazy is that if he's a father and he doesn't see the damage that could be caused by releasing a song with North West in it with Diddy is just beyond me. You would, as a father, you should want to protect your daughter. That just does not seem like a good decision.
I mean, we're not, just because, us being two women, we're not trying to say, the man makes the final decision. That's the biggest issue. That is an issue, obviously, to be thinking that way anyway. But let's put that besides the point. The issue is, and I listened to some of the song, where it's a conversation, between Diddy and Kanye and Diddy's thanking Kanye for calling him when nobody else would be calling him because he's dealing with some federal charges and still in prison right now.
Oh,
and Kanye's like, man, I grew up with you, even though you weren't there, but like I grew up with you. He's like, yeah, man. Like consoling him, right? Like on Team Diddy.
And you guys know that Diddy is in prison for allegations of complete and total sex trafficking and rape, and it just goes on and on and on.
But here's the other thing. If you, Diddy, are thanking Kanye because nobody else has come and called you or supported you, whatever, it's probably because you're guilty and because people don't want to be wrapped up in whatever you're wrapped up in. I mean, if you were falsely accused of something, I'd be all over it, right? Like all your friends would be like, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
Look at Britney, for example, like the conservatorship. Obviously, that was a whole different thing. But what I mean is like when you have support and you have fans like Diddy thought he did and we all thought he did.
Yeah, but you can be a fan to a certain point and then it's like no one's going to support these allegations. There's too many of these allegations for it to just be an allegation that you can look past. So I don't know what Kanye is thinking and why he would even fight Kim on that. Like Kim is simply looking out for the well-being of her daughter who is 13?
Yes, and this is, she
maybe younger
is dealing with
I want to see how old North West is.
The thing is that obviously Kim and Kanye are in the public eye, but I am sure to some degree people obviously deal with this in
She's 11. Correction. North West is 11 years old, okay? And so Kim and Kanye trademarked North West's name as they did all of their kids' names when they were born, and Kanye, at the time when they were still married, agreed to allow Kim to have control of these trademarked names, okay? Smart on their part because people would try to use their names and their likeness to make money. So that trademark is to protect her kids. And now they're divorced and Kanye's making this song and releasing it with North's name in it.
Yeah.
Yes, Kim is gonna say, her name is trademarked. I have control of it until she's 18. Then she can do what she wants with it. But you're not gonna use her name in something like that. I think that's totally not crazy. And then the comment with the man makes the final decision, no. Just no. Get out of here, Kanye.
No, yes. And
it's, first of all, you should be trying to co-parent. And okay, if you were in a situation where you were married, and it should be a joint decision of the mom and dad making these types of decisions.
But this isn't an irrational thing to be
no,
like,
it isn't.
I don't want my daughter.
Kanye's irrational too. So like, good for Kim for having her as the sole controller of this, because she actually is the one that has sense and Kanye doesn't.
But like, what is he not only putting her through, but the 4 kids? They're older too.
Yeah, also, but I think he's just completely irrational and out of his mind, like you're saying. So right now, Kim is trying to reason with somebody that's like you can't reason with, It's not a normal person.
No.
That she's trying to work with here.
I think he gets off on the fact that people talk about him more.
Yeah.
Like it could be good or bad. It doesn't matter.
Totally.
It's just like me against
It's
the world.
sad though, because this looks bad on North's part, or not bad on her part, but it's dragging their daughter into a situation that she doesn't need to be dragged into.
And I'm sure when she's like, 10 years from now, older and what would be 21 then, she'd look back and be like, I wouldn't want to be a part of something like this, right? Like, why would I, and to know that her mom fought for her.
And if you watch the Kardashians, like I really, really watch the Kardashians, okay? I keep up with the new season and everything. Kim does not say one bad word about Kanye. Mm-hmm. She totally allows the kids to share custody and whatever and see him. But if you're advocating for stuff like this, how can you let your little kids go and be in that presence? But those kids really kind of idolize their dad, as any little kid does. That's their dad. Yes, we think he's like crazy, but they love him, and North is inspired by him, and all he's doing is putting himself in a situation where he's going to lose access to his kids. Why can't he just
There's so many deeper rooted issues with him, and he probably does want to get back with Kim at some point, or just, you know, be good and just all be together again. But I think that Kim is so over all that, so he's trying to find people that are like her.
I think Kim has a great filter on her mouth.
Yes,
so.
good for her. And, you know, hats off to her for taking the higher road, because you could totally lose it, and you have a huge platform.
Yeah.
But she's not using it like that, which she shouldn't.
Ugh, just sad.
Ugh,
and the other kids are all younger. The other 3 kids are all younger than North, so North's 11. So those kids are very young, and it's like, Kanye, do you really want to be fighting for the next, you know, almost 20 years over your kids?
But in the public, too.
In the public, yeah.
Why?
And what example are you setting for your children? Because he has another daughter, Chai, and then he has 2 sons, Saint and Psalm. Yeah. Crazy.
All right, we'll be right back.
Okay, so we're going to just talk about what we're reading and what we're watching.
Yes.
Are you watching White Lotus?
No.
On HBO?
No.
Oh my gosh. Well, the new season's out, and it's wild.
Wait, what is it about?
So it takes place, they film them at 4 Seasons resorts. And the first 2 seasons, one was in Hawaii and one was in Sicily.
Okay.
So now I'm like, I want to go to the one in Sicily
so
bad. This one takes place in Thailand, and I mean, they are funny. Like, Jennifer Love Coolidge was in the first 2 seasons. You know, she's from Legally Blonde. And she is great. I think that's why, personally, I like the first 2 seasons better than the current one. But the episodes release every Sunday. So there's only, like, you know, maybe 4 of the episodes are out right now, or 5 or whatever. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I watched the latest episode today before work.
Well, something that we both listen to is the Mel Robbins podcast.
Yes, and her audiobook. So the Let Them Theory, I finished it. Did you finish it?
No, I haven't even started.
Oh my gosh, what are you waiting for?
No, I didn't.
I love it so much. I actually physically bought the book for a friend for her birthday and gave it to her. Because I was like, literally, this book can help everybody. And it was so funny because before I even gave our friend this book for her birthday, she was talking about some things like that are out of her control, but that are upsetting her so much, like the health of a family member and, you know, something going on at work. And I was like, I'm in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh,
can't wait to give you your present.
This book is gonna be so good. So anyway, she opens it and I was like, everything you were just saying, this book is literally gonna help you. It's a book, The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. I've completed it. And what I found is discussing it with now my family members and friends that are reading it or have already finished it, there's different parts that stand out to everybody.
Oh, that's good.
And so that's been interesting too, because maybe a part that stood out to me won't stand out to you, but you'll have another part and then we'll like talk about it. And it's like, oh, I kind of want to re-listen to the last like 3 chapters just to really ingrain it in my head.
I think, well, that's how it works, is you have to like keep listening to something or whatever.
And I wasn't
for it to be ingrained.
Sure how my mom would like the book, because I'm such a fan of Mel Robbins, and she loves it. I mean, she's like, oh my gosh, like, and my sister likes it, and this is 3 women, completely different ages and in stages of our lives, and we love it.
Well, the Let Them Theory is for those of you who might not be familiar, it's basically you letting people do what they're doing or letting circumstances be as they are. And that's not losing control, it's gaining control for yourself.
And the second part to that is the let me portion. So let me now do X, Y, or Z, because those are things that I can do to, you know, maybe make yourself feel better. Or one of the things that I loved, though, going back to like the part if like a family or friend isn't taking their health seriously, ways that you can go about without being like, come on, let's go for a walk. Why don't you want to go for a walk? Like, aren't you ever going to go for a walk? Like, instead of doing things like that, just the psychology behind just you doing your own thing, like you getting on your Peloton every day, or me going on my walk, and you got to do it for 6 months. Maybe, you know, you get some friends involved and you talk about how much fun you're having. And then maybe eventually after months and months and months, like that person might be like, I think I might finally join you for a walk. But it has to be their idea. And you can only control yourself. So you know? Or maybe it's one of those things where it's like the person that you're concerned about their health, maybe they wouldn't be able to handle like one of my crazy workout classes.
Right.
So that's not really realistic. So maybe I just need to start going on walks and just hope that maybe they'll want to join in, because that's like something that person would be able to handle. You know what I mean? Like you kind of sometimes, but it's not on them, it's on you to then show them like, I'm gonna go for a walk, but you're not nagging, and it's all these like psychological things to really, really just like help in those situations.
I think it's such a simple and effective tool.
Oh, it is.
And I'm gonna start listening to the book or reading the book, one of the others, and then we can discuss more about that, because I think that it's so beneficial for us and for you guys.
It's a great gift too for anybody. If you read it or listen to it, and then if someone, friend, family member has, you know, a birthday or something, that's a great gift to give, because it's a book that I feel like literally could help anybody. Like nobody is above this. So
she's going on tour, right? Or she's on tour, or
she is. I cannot believe my sister's FaceTiming me, guys.
Go ahead.
I never know what's gonna come out of her mouth, or I would answer.
Yeah, don't worry about it. No, I just thought about that.
All right, that's all we have time for.
Friends.
Go check
we'll
it out.
See you next time. Happy St. Patrick's Day.